Welcome to the Artful Teaching Podcast, where teachers are brought out of isolation and into conversation.
Here, we spotlight professional educators as both artists and leaders, and examine how the arts deepen student learning and improve school culture.
Education is a demanding field, and we've seen teachers rise to the challenges of their profession by leveraging the arts in the classroom.
Integrating dance, drama, music, visual arts, and media arts can bring so much joy, and we're excited to share that with you.
We're your hosts, Flox
and Heather Francis.
Thanks for joining us to hear various perspectives on the art of teaching.
Welcome to the Artful Teaching Podcast and to our series on resilience for teachers. I'm excited to say Flox is again here with us today to share some of her information that she's been sharing in her bi-monthly workshops for teachers and arts educators. And today her topic is the value of touch.
So we just finished last episode massaging the inside of our bodies. So we're going to go to the skin. The skin on the outside of our body serves a very important purpose. And when we think about the skin, I want you to imagine it as a barrier that keeps you safe. It regulates your temperature. It has a lot of sensory information, so you know when something's hurting you, or you can check the temperature and things around you. The skin keeps germs out. It regulates your body temperature through perspiration. Your skin is the largest organ in the body, and it's very, very important. Touch. The touch receptors are all through your skin. And some touch receptors are deep in the joints and in the muscles. But there are a couple of different kinds of touch. When you touch somebody with moderate firmness, and you grip or hold certain muscles like you're massaging, that moderate firmness actually decreases your blood pressure, decreases your respiration, and calms people down. When you touch lightly, it actually arouses you. You come to a state of paying attention and being attentive. So light touch increases the heart rate and the breath rate, and deep touch decreases it. Even the brain waves change with touch. The deeper touch being the more relaxing, dreamlike brainwaves, and the lighter touch being the more attentive and paying attention brainwaves. We're going to do just a quick body massage, but first I want to give you some information about how incredibly important touch is. In our society, we have evolved to where we do a lot of things on computer, so our workstations have become sedentary and desk-oriented. And we carry cell phones with us everywhere we go. So it used to be that researchers would observe people in an airport and they would be holding hands or touching or laying on each other's laps. And just families in airports are now individually working all on their own iPhones. And our whole society is changing for less and less touch. And that's something we need to be careful of. One researcher found that when friends are going to lunch in the United States during a 1-hour lunch period, 2 friends might touch 2 times. In England, they don't touch at all in 2 hours. And yet in France, they will touch 110 times. And in Puerto Rico, they'll touch 180 times. And touch is hugely important, both for our physical health and our emotional health. Touch is the language of compassion. And we communicate our most important conversations of our lives through touch. That is the language. Michelangelo said that to touch can be to give life. And along that line, when preemie newborn babies are born, they have shown that babies who get a 15-minute massage 3 times a day grow and gain more weight. They gain 47% more weight than newborn babies who don't. And that same touch transfers into adults because touch stimulates the immune system. And they have shown that massage and lots of touch helps people fight horrible diseases like cancer and HIV because it reduces cortisol. And there are killer cells in your body that's part of your immune system, and cortisol destroys those. But touch reduces that cortisol. So touch is really important. In the classroom, touch really matters. The research has shown that when a teacher kindly and gently touches children are 3 times more likely to raise their hand in class than children who are not touched. Even right down to a librarian. If a librarian touches a child's hand while they're checking out a book, not only will the child like the book better, but they'll be more likely to come back to the library. They've shown in studies they compared children in Miami and children in France. The children in France, young children playing on the playground, they touched each other more, and their parents touched them more. There was a lot more touch in the play, and the children played together very cooperatively. And in Miami, when they observed the children, there was much less touch between the parents and the children and between the children and each other. And they saw increased aggression within the children. And this was true in young children as well as in adolescents. Even adolescents were more aggressive if they did not get enough touch. That frustration comes up. One extension of that research was very telling. They put a plexiglass between two monkeys so that the monkeys could see each other and interact, but they couldn't touch. The frustration got to the point that one researcher reported when those monkeys did get in the same place, they were capable of killing each other because it brought out so much aggression and frustration to be in that situation. It's critical that we learn how to put more touch into our society and more touch into our classrooms. Human beings need it. Mammals need it. Animals, petting your dog, petting your cat, spending that time. There's lots of ways to increase our touch, and it's essential for our mental health as well as our physical health. So with that in mind, I'm going to invite you to give yourself a massage. So you don't want to do this one when you're driving. You can do this after you're done driving if you've joined us in the car. And if you're at home or someplace else, find a place to stand or to sit, however you are comfortable. I want you to start rubbing your palms together and blow into your hands and think about warm touch, because it's warm touch that decreases the heart rate and that warm, sturdy, solid touch that we talked about before. The warmth matters. So with your hands thinking warm, I want you to squeeze your own hands. Squeeze them all kinds of different ways. And then move up so that you're squeezing your wrists. Alternate one wrist and then the other. And move up your arms so you're grabbing your forearms and grabbing your upper arm and your shoulders. Now your hands are crossed and you're massaging your neck. Oh, and just give yourself a nice massage. The big muscle across your shoulder, the trapezius, dig deep into that with your fingertips and allow it to release. Okay, and let's go one hand at a time. Take your one hand and go across to your upper trapezius and massage that muscle. Squeeze it up in your hand and turn your head from side to side while you're holding that muscle firmly in your hand. And drop your chin to your chest, allowing your neck to release. And then let go. And let's do the other side. So take the other hand and grab that trapezius. Take a nice firm grasp in your hand and turn your head from side to side, looking over your shoulder, loosening that up. Breathe and drop your chin to your chest, relaxing your neck. Take a deep breath and let go of that muscle. Roll your shoulders and loosen them up. And we're going to continue that firm touch. Warm hands. Place gently on your face, but firmly on your face. And hold your face in the palm of your hands. Take a deep breath. And move down to your jaw so that your hands are firmly holding your chin and your jaw, and your fingers are crossing your TMJ joint. Open your mouth and gently touch in little tiny quick touches that TMJ joint, and open your mouth until you get a nice big yawn. And when you're ready, move to your ears. You're going to massage your ears from top to bottom, unfolding the outer curve of your ears and pulling on your earlobes. So going from top to bottom, unfolding your ears. Take some deep breaths and watch the rest of your body respond to a pleasurable ear massage. It might even bring another yawn. Deep breaths and relax. Let's continue that deep touch down in your abdomen. Massage on your rib cage, down into your stomach, onto the small of your back, just massaging and relaxing those muscles. down your gluteals, down your quadriceps, on the back of your thighs, down to your calves. And if you're where you can, take a minute and massage one foot with both hands. You might have shoes on so that you just flex and point your foot. But if you can get to your feet, pull on your toes, release those bones and muscles, massage your heel and your Achilles. And point and flex your foot a few times. Get it warm. And trade sides. Give your other foot the same lovely treatment. Massage the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, into your toes and the ball of your foot. Point your toes, flex your toes, stretch them, warm them up in your heel and your Achilles. And allow your feet to fall to the floor, relaxed and planted firm. Now we're going to light touch. So you're just a gentle stroke, like a tickling over your skin, up your arms, down your torso, and down your legs. Brush, like you're brushing off light sand at the beach. Your face, your arms, your torso, your back. Brush the sand off from the sunny day at the beach. And now lightly feather, just gentle, soft, light feathering. And take a deep breath and finish. And I hope you feel more awake on the inside and on the outside from touch. Let's finish with a big hug just for you, because one thing I know is we've all been missing greeting our friends with hugs and the children at school with hugs. So give yourself a nice big hug to finish. And remember that touch is one of the most important parts of life for physical health and mental health. And I hope all of you will keep finding ways to increase your opportunities to touch people in your own family and to get the touch that you need.
Thanks, Callie. I have a couple questions. It seems that it's really important in this pandemic where we don't get to experience a lot of touch because of, managing germs and bacteria and avoiding the virus. So this self-touch, this massage for ourselves seems to be really important because we are, able to take care of ourselves with that kind of touch. When I was a teacher, I experienced I touched a student, I tapped them on the shoulder, and they just flew back, like full arm. Sometimes touch is overstimulating or triggering. And teachers have to walk that line in schools when it comes to, you want to use touch as you want to hug students, you want to feel connected, you want to make them feel safe, but sometimes touch does the opposite.
Yes, and there's more ways to touch than with the hands. Until you have permission to touch somebody, touching them with your eyes, touching them with a comment, with a smile, that you can reach into them and let them know that they are seen and important to you without using your hands at all. And that is what some students need, and that's their boundary. And certainly we need permission because you don't want to sneak up on anybody and startle them. And everyone has different sensitivities to touch. But if they don't want to be touched, they can let you know what makes them feel visible and seen and important. And that's part of that relationship that we've talked about before, communicating our needs and respecting what other people communicate to us.
Once upon a time, you gave an example or a strategy with a blanket related to touch when, you can't use, I don't know, can you explain that strategy again?
Yeah, we just don't get enough hugs. But sometimes I just love taking a shawl, and I have a shawl that was my grandmother's, and I love this shawl. It came from Greece, and it's a hand crocheted silk scarf. And when I put it on, it is so heavy, and it weights on my shoulders. I feel like my grandmother's giving me a hug. And that shawl taught me that at any time I can wrap up in a shawl or a blanket and curl up in the fetal position and feel safe and secure. And remember that in utero feeling that you can only get when you wrap up in something very, very warm. And my favorite blanket or my favorite shawl can bring me that moment anytime I take the time to imagine it.
I love that. Thank you so much for all that information. What can we look forward to in upcoming episodes on resilience for teachers?
One of the most popular classes that we did was about how to say no, and how to say no and really mean it, and when to say yes, and when does yes really mean yes. And we realized that the power of saying you can't really say yes to something unless you really have the ability to say no. So I think we'll bring that workshop, and I think we'll also do something on humor, because boy, one of the things we all need to do is really learn to laugh.
So stay tuned for more episodes from the Artful Teaching Podcast, especially the solo episodes with Callie Flox and Resilience for Teachers. All of the links to the things that we've referred to are in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe to the BYU Arts Partnership on Instagram and Facebook and our budding Pinterest account. We want to serve teachers, and if you are looking for resources, these are the places to find them. Thanks for being here.
Artful Teaching is made possible by the BYU Arts Partnership in the McKay School of Education. Thanks to Montgomery Media Arts Institute for the production of this podcast. And special thanks to all the teachers who are changing lives while serving in schools.
If you like what you heard, please leave us a review. You can find all our episodes at advancingartsleadership.com. I'm Heather Francis.
And I'm Callie Flox, wishing you an artful journey.